He had merely knocked over a bottle of milk, and his mother called him a stupid pig in front of everyone, saying his birth was a colossal mistake, that his 10-pound head had caused her 10 hours of agony. To show just how heavy 10 pounds was, she grabbed the newly bought potatoes and rice and held them together.
Et après on se retrouve avec ça. Ça mange, ça coûte, c'est sale.
Kimon never understood. He was a person, so why was he referred to as a thing? The more his mother scolded him, the quieter Kimon grew, until he even developed dyslexia. Reading aloud in class was always stumbling and halting, making his classmates burst into laughter. Even the teacher would publicly humiliate him in front of the class. Kimon didn't dare tell his mother, because communication didn't exist in their home. The words she said most often were,
Tu veux ou tu la veux?
What made it even sadder was that Kimon had never experienced a father's love. He was merely the product of his mother's flings with men, and he had even seen his mother bring various men home. During those times, he was always kicked out of the house. In the blink of an eye, Kimon was over 50. He had worked odd jobs all his life, and was often bullied by various foremen. He would finish 10 hours of work in 8, only to have 2 hours pay secretly docked. He would go back to argue, but because he wasn't good with words, he could only curse a few times at the door. After work, Kimon would always visit the same bar, drinking with a few good buddies. They all liked this gentle giant, except for one sarcastic old man who loved studying history. He would always bring up what he thought were profound topics, leaving Kimon at a loss for words, so the old man could mock him. As his mother grew older, she became erratic, and drove Kimon out of the house. But Kimon never gave up on her. He bought a camper van and parked it in the yard, just so he could take care of her more easily. Yet, his mother's harsh attitude never changed. Fortunately, Kimon had a girlfriend who loved him. Whenever he felt depressed or troubled, she would always be a light that warmed him. Kimon had a peculiar habit. He loved counting pigeons in the park on sunny afternoons. But suddenly today someone interrupted him.
19. Je disais qu'il y en a 19. Qu'est-ce qui vous fait rire?
Bah, que vous me disiez jeune homme.
The old lady said that compared to her, Kimon was still young. She was 95 years old, yet remained elegant and dignified. Learning that Kimon had given each pigeon a name, she was very curious. Kimon said it was because each had its own distinct traits. For example, Pierre and Titmouse were inseparable. The one always trying to lead was Stubborn Mule. The one with a feather in its mouth was called Thief. Then there were Biscuit and Margaret. The old lady was surprised, because her name was Margaret, though with 2 T's. Her father had accidentally written it that way, but her mother found it interesting and kept it.
Ça leur a plu. Je suis née d'une histoire d'amour. Enfin, comme tout le monde.
Non, pas comme tout le monde. Il y en a qui sont nés par mégarde.
Margaret realized she had inadvertently touched a sore spot for Kimon, and didn't press further. But after that, the two often met in the park. Over time, it seemed to become an unspoken agreement. Margaret loved reading, and would bring books to share with Kimon. She never mocked his ignorance, and would deliberately pick gripping passages to read aloud to him. Kimon's barren mind began to sprout wisdom. Those once unfamiliar words turned into vivid images, flashing before him one by one. He became her most devoted listener, immersed in the vibrant world Margaret created for him. But back at home, all that greeted Kimon was his mother's curses. He brought her fruit, only to be scolded for dirtying the floor. He fetched her mail, but she mistakenly thought he wanted to steal her pension. He gave her vegetables